Hello, I'm Molly Caron, and I'm here with Hilary Fillier and Cecilia Splendiferous. We have gathered here today twofold. We want to talk about a play that is coming up at the Vancouver East Cultural Centre called The Most Massive Woman Wins, a play by Madeleine George. And Cecilia Splendiferous is producing and acting in it, and Hilary Fillier is performing in it. She's actually a body-positive performance artist. We want to talk about bodies today. We want to talk about the many ranges of control that we try to exercise over ourselves and how we get over that, the baggage. So let's begin with what you see in this play, Hilary, that you would like to share, that you identify with, that makes you want to bring something so serious to a comic realm.
Yeah. Well, for me, when I read my character, I'm playing Carly, she just reminded me of the women that raised me and the women that were around me at the time. They were so incredibly strong on the outside and just powerful women, but on the inside they were just so incredibly broken. And just the fact that wanting to change their outside, their physicality, lose 10 pounds, everything will be fine. You know, as Carly says, you know, change your butt and your boobs and, you know, everything will be fine if you just change your physicality to fit that societal norm. And it's just so not true. And it relates back to so many things in my own life. I'm body positive performance artist, as you said, and I'm actually going through my own recovery from an eating disorder. It took a lot of time off to really, really get in that and suss it out. And so I see playing this role as furthering my therapy and kind of getting to that place of loving kindness, compassion, accepting my body. Yeah.
And being vulnerable and funny at the same time.
Yeah, it's really important to get that comedy in there.
It is.
Yeah, laughter.
And Cecilia, you have a role as an actor, but you've also been a director and a writer and a community television host. And many things have brought you around to wanting to tell this story. Can you set the story for us really briefly? Can you give us a synopsis of The Most Massive Woman Wins?
Yeah,
setting?
it's a play that was written in 1994 by Madeleine George. It's won awards. There's 4 women. It starts off that they meet in a liposuction clinic. So I thought that was just funny. I don't know, it just seemed awkward and interesting. I'd never seen a play about this, and each one of them has been traumatized in some way or another, whether it be from spousal or partner abuse or mother to daughter or peers, and they've internalized so much self-hatred for their bodies that they've got to this point where they're actually going to get liposuction.
So fat shaming has many manifestations and it can have lifelong impacts. Hilary, tell us what fat shaming means and feels like to you.
Yeah, I'll really tell you what it feels like to me. To me, it feels like someone is undermining my abilities, my intellect, everything, invalidating my whole being based on my weight, my dress size. I have a personal story. This one really sticks out to me when I think about fat shaming and how the world isn't made for larger bodies. I was walking down the street, just going to get some groceries, and a man popped up right in front of my face and said, "You are a beautiful woman, but," it's always the but, you know, if you just took some plastic wrap and put it around your stomach and then wore your clothes over it for a month or so, you would lose all that fat and you'd be gorgeous. And I had nobody come back. I was so thrown off by what he had said that I actually thanked him for his advice. And I think that's the fundamental thing about fat shaming. It's the thing that, you know, society thinks that I should be thanking people for this advice that there's obviously something wrong with me because I'm fat, and I obviously want to lose weight. I obviously want to do these things. That's not obvious. I don't want to do these things. I want to be comfortable in my own body and love myself, and that's what I'm working on every day.
And we should mention that if there's a way through with using creativity, dance, expression, poetry. Well, let's go back to you, Hilary, to talk about your coping techniques and how you've, what's your success in, your recipe for success when you have that kind of judgment?
Definitely, it's first recognizing that you're doing all this negative self-talk in your mind, and you're really putting yourself down. When I think fundamentally that every human being is valid, every human being brings something to the table. We're all unique and powerful in our own right. So it's definitely first recognizing what you're doing in your mind for me, and then I made the hard decision as not a teenager, 30-year-old woman, to go to my doctor and say, I think there's an issue here. She agreed with me, and I was all completely in to start group therapy, one-on-one sessions, and really get in touch with my body. Again, I don't think I was ever in touch with my body or who I was. I don't think I had any self-worth, quite honestly. And to rediscover my agency and my autonomy as a 30-year-old woman is really empowering, and it's actually quite interesting. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, so this play will be at the Vancouver East Cultural Centre on the mid-September as part of a showcase with other plays.
Yeah, it's part of the dramatic work series at the Culture. The dramatic work series is a part of the Fringe Festival. Right. So we will be having 6 performances between September 5th and 15th. And the dramatic work series is all plays that are already published. So we got the rights to this play by Madeleine George. It's an award-winning play. Our director, Michael Orlanen, is getting rave reviews for some of her work that she did last year in the dramatic works, and she actually directed another piece by Madeleine George.
Right.
Precious Little.
Precious Little.
Yeah.
Well, it's an important role that culture plays in, and maybe if you're watching this right now, you might identify with some of the stories that you're hearing today, and it might be triggered. So there are places that you can reach out if you have something you need to talk about, spill, whisper, write about, sing, perhaps. And there are crisis lines, and we'll put those numbers up on the screen for you. I want to thank you both for opening your hearts and looking for more people to join this conversation. I know that creativity is medicine, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. We want to shine light into the darkness. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You're watching Access Community Television, TV for the people, by the people. Get in touch if you have a story to tell. Thank you. I'm Molly Caron.